Coach, if you'd open up with a comment on today's game.
Sure. First, want to congratulate Virginia and wish them the best of luck next week. Heck of a game. They kept battling and certainly made a big push. So just want to wish them good luck next week, and just really proud of our guys. Tough locker room. We were on the other side of it last week, so been there, but can't say enough how much I appreciate what our seniors have done. This team has done, how hard they played today. That I love them.
Question, Patrick.
John, what did you see on the tying goal there? Did you think that was in at that point, or could you tell?
It happened so fast. The ball, you see the ball released, and then, it happens, and all of a sudden the ball pops out. So I didn't have, obviously, as good an advantage point as the guys on the field, so you're just kind of trusting that, okay, if it went in. And I did ask them, I go, listen, we're 100% sure that in. And they were like, listen, if we weren't convinced, we wouldn't make that call. I said, okay. I'm not sure I could ask much more of that. We had a very good group, and those guys are good at their job, so I trust that they're going to make the best decision possible. Just like, we're going to try to do the best on our part.
Right.
Would you be a proponent of instant replay in the sport going forward, after a call like that?
Yeah, I would. Listen, it's about getting it right, and if we can do that, certainly, a stage this big, if you're going to have TV anyway, and you're going to have the ability to do it, why not? Whether it hurts you or helps you, it's really about getting the play right. So, and if we could do it in a timely fashion, why not try?
Jared, what worked right for you guys in being able to stretch that thing out a little bit, and just how frustrating was it with the lack of possession largely there in the fourth quarter, not being able to finish it?
Yeah, I think just we were able to execute the plan. Be in good spots. Spacing was huge. They have pretty good range on those guys, pretty tall guys. But overall, I think guys just shared the ball. I think the ground balls. We got 30. I think that was big. Also the clearing was big. They're like the top riding team. So I thought those were huge aspects of the game, helping us.
John, great effort by you, your staff, and your team again, and congratulations on an outstanding season. I know as coaches at these games, you look at really different situations and scenarios, but the effort and the athleticism and speed and talent of your program, you've got to be really proud of the way they performed today.
Without a doubt. Overall, you're trying to win the games, but a big part of it is how we approach it. How we represent the program, the tradition that we have. We talk about playing like Terps all the time, leaving it all out there. I thought our kids were just relentless today. Played with so much heart, gave all they could, and we lost Nick Brzezowski, got a little dinged up during the game. Just saw him, hard way for him to go out, and we had some other guys step in and play a little bit out of position, but again, love our guys, proud of them, feel for them. I know how much they put into it. Certainly these two guys are a big reason why we're here. But not only just being great players, they're just great young men.
Coach, you sort of had those routine visits to the Final Four weekend back in 2016, 2017. These last 2 years, you guys have come up short. Where do you sort of see Maryland lacrosse going from here?
I'm an optimist. I always feel like, and it's the way these kids should be, dream big, work hard, if you put the effort in and you make the sacrifices and you prepare, why not dream big? The standard's the standard around here, and that will never change. It means so much to our school and our state and our alums that, in a way, that drives us. It's a great motivating thing. It's also a thing that helps us get there.
John, that last run by Virginia, did you see any adjustments or just something that maybe changed the tone of that game in the last 5 minutes?
Yeah, I give them a lot of credit. They just kept playing. It's a little bit like their Notre Dame game. It was hard. We were 3 for 15 facing off in the second half, so that's 12 extra possessions in the second, and we were able to maximize our possessions in the third. I just felt like we didn't get a ton of possessions late, and they just kept wearing us down, and they just kept getting the ball. And I thought Coach Bernhard did a great job. We mixed in, we probably played more zone today than we have all year. And we kind of mixed that in, and I thought that really helped us. I thought Danny Dolan was great today. But they just kept going and going and going, and they just kept getting, and whether it was maybe not necessarily winning the face-off, but like Ryan Conrad or, Connor just seemed to be, making plays on ground balls and, or riding us back and getting an extra one. They just kind of wore us down a little bit. And, we got one with under 2, and then we failed to clear, and they get it right back. I felt for these guys, because I felt like if we could get the ball to that end, some good things would happen, but I'm not sure we saw the ball much under 3. And again, give them credit because they just kept getting the ball and putting pressure on us.
But how hard is it watching those last few minutes go by and they keep getting a little closer, and just kind of tightening up and all that? What's it like, kind of feeling a little helpless there at the other end?
It's definitely tough to kind of sit there and watch, but I think our defense did an amazing job stepping up. Their offense has been phenomenal all season, and I think our defense, really stepped up to the plate and held them down. So we had all the trust in the world in them. And I think that if we just got one more possession, I think we would have been there. But they did a tremendous job.
Bubba, a tough way to end the season, obviously, but how do you think this can fuel the team that returns a lot of pieces across the field in the offseason?
Yeah, I think a lot of people they think we're going to come back as strong as we did this year, and I think the same thing is kind of going in next year. I think we lose a lot of key pieces, but at the same time, the coaches do such a great job of recruiting and kind of filling in those gaps, and a lot of freshmen this year stepped up in big roles, and that helped us a lot, and a lot of sophomores even stepped up in big roles. So I think next year, the experience is going to help us a lot, and we have great leaders on the team. Jared Bernhardt, you couldn't ask for a better mentor. This guy does everything right, and down on defense, you have Roman Puglisi, who stepped up in a big role, and he's going to be a big leader on defense. So we have big leaders everywhere. I think the coaches do a great job of kind of setting the culture early. So I think we'll be ready next year.
John, can you just sum up what Jared did this year, this season for you guys?
There's 5 guys that are nominated for the Twarton, and I feel like he's deserving. Just does so much for us. Every day just brings it. So he sets a tone. It sets a great example. Very unselfish. He'd probably rather feed the ball and give it up for someone else to score than score himself. But draws so much attention that helps the other guys. There was a great play today where, we lose the ball and the ball comes up the sideline and he just comes up and hustles and gets a ride back. And those are hidden plays that we see, but they're energy plays. Those are things that we've come to accustomed to, see from Jared, but not take for granted. And when, your best offensive player is playing that hard, it rubs off on everybody else. And, it goes without saying, one of the best young men you'll ever be able to work with, and obviously Bubba as well, just makes coming to work pretty special.
Patrick?
Jared, with the way the last 2 weeks went, is it kind of an illustration of just how fine the line it is, especially in the postseason when you're in this situation?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it's tough to go out like that, losing some of the seniors and stuff. But I think the biggest thing, we just kept being relentless the whole time. Playing like Terps, that's kind of the biggest thing. We always emphasize that. Be the best. Be the best person. Be the best friend. Be the best teammate you can be. So every time when we're on the field, that's what you're gonna get from us.
Coach, coming around 4 minutes there, Kyle dumps the ball out of bounds, taking a shot. How do you guys balance those situations between being conservative and trying to milk the clock and staying aggressive?
That's the hard part. And I should have used time out there. We're playing a lot of defense, so we wanted to get a good possession. And they've been really getting us pretty good in the transition defense. So we were very nervous about, all right, we come out, we played so much defense, let's give those guys a break. Looking at the numbers, I think at that point we're still up 4. And you're hoping, okay, if we manage this thing right, we knew Virginia would make a run, but you kind of play the percentages and, you kind of look at some of those things. You hope that, all right, we can get back, we can get in, get some stops, at least a couple, even with that, get a possession, maybe off the face-off, ground ball, whatever it may be. And a lot of those things just didn't happen, so as a coach, those are always things you reflect back on, and you know, our kids did everything they needed to do. You know, I need to do a better job in that moment and managing some of the things of the game. You know, these guys did what they were supposed to do. I didn't do my job.
Hey, Bubba, and when Virginia ties in a goal that replays show probably shouldn't have been a goal, do you feel like you maybe got one taken away from you, circumstances out of your control? Kind of what's your perspective on that?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's kind of out of our control. We can only control the controllables. That's what Coach Dillon likes to say. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, the refs are out there for a reason. They're good at their job. So, I mean, yeah, it's tough to kind of look at it when you're on the sideline, you know, wonder whether or not that went in. But at the end of the day, like, I think the attitude on the sideline was like, let's go get one back, you know, let's go get one back. So, and hearing the bench cheer you guys on, or cheer us on is awesome, you know, like, always the next play and always the next guy up. So I think the energy was, you know, actually pretty good after that.
Last question.
Coach, you've had seniors contribute all over the field this year with Danny and Matt and Lewis on attack, and guys like Nick and Will in that midfield sort of area. What can you sort of say to what they've contributed to the team this year, like on the field and off the field, maybe helping some of the younger guys along?
Yeah, I think that's the hardest thing right now is realizing for those guys. You know, you saw Curtis last week, the joy, you know, to have another week. No, we don't have another week together. You know, but those guys have done a lot for us. You know, Nick and Christian 5 years, and the other guys, for the most part, 4 years. Just, you know, you appreciate so much, you know, what they've just done on and off the field, whether it's, you know, mentoring younger guys, you know, what they've done community service, how hard they played, you know, what they brought to the table. That's the hardest thing is saying goodbye to those guys, you know, and it always is that way. But that means it meant something. And I think that's what you always think about is it's about the journey. It's not about the end. At some point, like, this thing goes away. It doesn't totally go away, but you remember, like, the growth of the guys. These guys will look back and say it was an amazing journey. Their life is better. Certainly my life is better for what those guys have provided. And we're tied together, and they're part of something special. And I know these kids are going to do great things. They're ready. Whatever comes their way. Things like this where there's adversity, it doesn't go their way, they handled it with class. There's going to be a lot of other tough things. They're going to stick together, support each other, and they're going to just crush it in the real world. And I have 100% confidence those guys are going to be total winners like they've been really their 4 years here.
Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations on a good season.
Thank you.